Hello, my loves. We are here in my bedroom, a very sacred place for many reasons. But I wanted to do a little introduction about who I am, why I'm here. I've never really done that. I think I've definitely posted content, but it's never really touched the surface. I will scratch the surface of my mission, what Third Eye Exchange is, my new binder, which I'll be flipping through, and all the unnecessary information that I'm going to share with you or overshare with you that makes me who I am. So buckle up, grab a snack, feel free to like, share, comment, subscribe to my YouTube, follow me on Instagram. I also have TikTok, which I don't know about that. and Facebook. So pick your poison, darlings. So Third Eye Exchange is my brand that I started back in 2020. That's when I had my massive spiritual awakening. I would say it's the biggest one that I've ever had. And I would consider myself a psychic intuitive medium. The thing is, I don't like to identify as a medium solely because I'm still in the early stages of cultivating mediumship itself. So I haven't given I haven't charged for any readings for that. I specialize in, when I do readings, tapping into where the person's at, pinpointing any blockages, sometimes through what I feel in their body, because I'm very clairsentient, and empathic, so I feel other people's feelings. I can feel your energy body. And sometimes I'm working on this. The boundaries are an ongoing thing, but nevertheless, an important one, spiritually and not spiritually. Sometimes I get downloads about people or information, even when I don't ask for it. But obviously, I'm never going out of my way to impose on anybody. And certain things are very private. So, excuse me, if I feel like it might not be in the person's best interest, or that they may not be receptive to it, I don't bring it up. But it does happen on occasion. I also can see spirits in my mind's eye, and it's been happening much more frequently since I have started my personal year 7, and also last year, which was a universal year 7. I'm very big into numerology. You'll see that over time. I will be coming out with a podcast very soon, but what I am focusing on right now is a book that I've been writing for a long time, probably since high school. I have content as far back as high school. I just always knew intuitively that I came here to write. That's my big dream. As much as I love spirituality and helping people and reading for them and holding space and laughing and crying and sharing beautiful moments, my one true love is writing. That's the way that I always found it best to express myself. I actually am very introverted. Most people probably wouldn't guess that about me if you know me well, but I am pretty introverted. I would rather be in my room intellectualizing all day, every day, if you let me. That's really basically what I do when I'm not working or creating content or anything else. I'm just in my room, like, learning and studying and philosophizing, if you will. I think that was one of the many hats that I wore in a past life. And I want to preface this by saying, like, listen, I try to always be as respectful as possible of other people's views, of other perspectives. I even welcome them. Like, I like other people's perspectives. I think they're interesting. I don't necessarily agree, but I just, you know, I'm sound in the things that I've figured out thus far, and I am open to obviously growing. So anyway, I also have a lot of ADHD, which is something that a lot of people that have highly sensitive personalities, are psychics, and are mediums actually possess. Most of them, many of them have ADHD or ADD of some form. An interesting fact. So I'm trying to think. Yeah, that's why it just, like, it trailed off. Where was I? Oh yeah, so like I said, I will be really focusing on that for the time being. I recently heard, like, a spiritual call to really start putting that together and allowing the world to see it very soon. I have been through, and you'll see, and I want my podcast based on, you know, everything in my book, but also to become, like, an expansion of it. A wild expansion beyond anything I could have thought of. Like, I write all my episodes. I have tons of ideas already being birthed right now. And I love that. I love that. And I love sharing and healing and helping other people to do that as well. As I was saying before, like, when you finally see what I put out there, this was actually hard for me for a long time because I had a fear of being seen. We'll get into it. And it's a little uncomfortable because growing up, and I will say this, I really wasn't seen. I actually kind of had to fight to be heard. So this is a little out of my comfort zone, I'm not gonna lie, but in sharing my book, I really hope that it will, you know, spark the fire in other people to embrace their own healing journeys and to validate that, you know, there is life and healing and complete recovery after abuse, after addiction in its many forms, after I guess abuse in its many forms, after, you know, generational trauma. And my biggest hope is just that, you know, it makes somebody sit there, like, you know, how do I say this? Like, how do I put this into words? It's almost like I want to be that light for somebody that I didn't have when 16 and 17-year-old me, really any age me, but specifically I would say around those ages, that's when I really would have needed something like this the most. Because I feel like I was really starting to wake up spiritually, but I didn't have the resources, I didn't have the mentors, I didn't have really anybody around me that was like me. So I just always felt alienated and ostracized, and I feel like being a teenager already does that to you. So on a certain level, whether it's chemical or not. So that was really a tough time in my life. And like I said, I didn't really have a support system. So if this gets into the hands of even one person, that I become like the inspiration for them to move on past like all the wounding and the misfortune, and they go on to create, even if it's just like as simple as like happiness for themselves, like that's enough for me. You know, I definitely want to touch as many people as possible with this. I think it's important. You know, I think technology actually made it much easier to have these conversations and to not shy away from them the way that generations before us, unfortunately, I guess systemically almost felt they had to. But I am just really excited, and I will share that tidbit with you guys. I don't like to share too much before things come to fruition. I don't know that I'm afraid of it. It's just, I like to be a little mysterious. So I will leave it at that. But I wanted to flip through my binder with you and talk more along the way about all of my services that I offer, because I haven't done that either. Again, this is all new to me, but I'm excited. I'm getting like emotional. I'm just very happy. This is a big deal for me. Also, side note, there's a couple mistakes, I guess, on a couple of these pages, and I've since fixed them but haven't printed out new pages yet, so we'll just move along past that and overlook them, because don't forget, I'm in a human body right now, but spiritual me, she's that. Okay, so here's testimonials, which, by the way, I'm actually very soon going to switch to Zoom calls so I can like record my readings and make content for you. I think it's cleaner. I think it's a better way of reaching people. I think it's a surefire way of getting your point across also. So there's some testimonials. I feel like I'm reading to my class. Here, we'll do, oh, this is good. Okay, girl. Pop off, sis. Also, thank you to everyone that sent me a testimonial. You rock. Sorry, it's late. Okay. Welcome to Third Eye Exchange Metaphysical Shop. And then my Etsy link. And then we have sage bundles. They are $9.50 per bundle. With sustainability in mind, you'll see a theme across my products as time goes on. I am trying to be as sustainable as possible with packaging, with materials, with everything. Right now, the mailer stuff is a work in progress because I am building from the ground up. I want to be transparent with you guys. Like, I'm not taking out any loans or anything, like, for everything I'm doing. Like, I take my own personal money and, like, have started ordering things, and then, like, everything that when people come to me for readings, when I get orders, like, everything that I make right now from all of that, it's all going back into the business to growing it. So it's gonna take a little time, you know, like certain things, like I mentioned the other day, like the mailer situation. So a good thing, you can get free mailers from the post office. You can order them for free. Excuse me. So I did that, but once I use all of those up, I just wanted to give myself time to like save money. I am gonna be ordering compostable ones, like the mailers, so I will be switching, but these things take time. So thank you for your patience and understanding in the meantime. And okay, so each bundle has a sage bundle. I think it's about 4 inches and maybe 2-3 inches across, and then a palo santo stick. Both of these are ethically sourced. So I was really adamant about that because I know it's becoming an issue for many reasons, and it's also something that I look for personally in my stuff. So I don't want to sell you anything that I wouldn't use myself, and that's gonna be anything at my shop. Like, I'm not gonna sell you something if I wouldn't buy it or use it myself, including pricing. Like, I'm trying to make my pricing as fair as possible. Like, there's certain deals I won't even make if I do markets with people because like I don't want to like sell myself short, but I also, you know, don't want to like ask for prices that are honestly just like not reasonable for people. Like, you know, people work, people have lives, like they have responsibilities. So it's really a priority of mine to keep that in mind with anything that I do and release. And also, like, if you see me in person or, you know, like doing a market or something, like, you know, I am a pretty reasonable person. So if there's ever like, if you need a reading or whatever, and like, I don't know, like I can't accommodate every single time, but you know, if you have a certain situation and you want me to work with you on pricing, I can try to do my best. If you see me in person. Oh yeah. So if you buy 2 bundles, you get $1 off, and then if you buy 3 bundles, you get $1.50 off. I'm pretty sure that I put that on my Etsy. Well, not the 3. There wasn't a way to. But in person 100%, but I was able to do $1 off 2 bundles. So it'll be there. Journal kits. This is where one of the typos was. So the was is supposed to be crossed out. Originally, I was selling these for $25. In one of the previous videos I made, I explained why I just don't want to sell them anymore. They don't feel like personal to me. They don't feel aligned. Not that there's anything wrong with them. I just want to go in a different direction, and eventually, after, you know, more time has passed, I want to curate something myself and be able to distribute that to you instead of like ordering from distributors. You know, this was like 4 years ago now. I launched this, so out with the old, but I am clearancing it. If you see me in person, it's gonna be a little more it's going to be a little bit more clearance. It'll be $15 on Etsy. I think it's $17.50, something like that. But it's still less than it was, and who knows, like, maybe it'll be even more. But for now, there's those. I am going to be making other really cool things. I want to tell everybody, but I don't, because, like, honestly, I don't want to be that guy, but, like, people do steal your ideas if they're good ideas. And I had a dream a few months ago that somebody was stealing my ideas, and I woke up livid. Even in the dream, I got up and was like, this bitch is trying to steal my ideas. So honestly, I love you guys, but you're just gonna have to wait and see. Okay, now, readings. This was one of the big things I wanted to highlight through this video. My specialty, like I said, is I'm also a Reiki practitioner, healer, whatever. In different states, you have to say them different ways. Anyway, so for me, I work with energy really well. I'm like an energy reader. So as I was saying before, I can pinpoint where people are energetically and what may be blocking them towards certain things that they come to me with. Sometimes if you do okay, I'm just trying to, I don't want to be all over the place. I probably am. If you do a one-on-one with me in person, the pricing is different. I mean, virtually, my in-person is virtually via FaceTime. It's going to be Zoom soon, so I can record, like I said. And the reason for that is because it's a very different experience. I wouldn't say one is either more or less valid than the other. It's just different. When I'm able to have a virtual one-on-one with someone, I'm in my own space. I don't have like a million people walking around, a million different influences, the sun here, cars driving by there, people walking here. It's not a thing. Like, it's not something that like poses a distraction for me. So I can really get into my meditation, and I write channeled messages after I open up. So when I open up my ceremony, I do about a 15-minute guided meditation to protect my energy fields, because I'll be opening up my channel. And then after that, I do about 15 to 30 minutes of self-Reiki on myself to like clear out anything I have going on and make sure that I'm good. And then 10 to 15 minutes, sometimes more, depending on how much time I have, how I feel, I will meditate, and things will start to come through about the person I'm connecting with, because I'll, start to sage and Palo Santo my house and call in my energy, my spirit guides, my angels, my spirit team, essentially, to help me during the session. During those moments, I open up the channel, I allow access, I verbally state that when I am doing these. And then usually I'll end about 5 to 10 minutes before I get on with someone, but I like to get right on, so I'm like in the zone immediately. That usually 5 minutes prior is when I'll message the person, "You ready?" And they're like, "Yes." I'm like, "Okay." So yeah, so the virtual experience is different. It's a little bit longer, or I guess you could say in depth. It's just a little bit more personal, like I said, because of the energy channeling. I still do channel when I do readings at events. It's just, like I said, it's just different. it comes to me more like thoughts. That's really how it comes to me anyway, like when you get downloads. But you know, the universe always knows what cards to send me, what decks to have people choose, so they get the messages that they need, essentially. Oh yeah, and virtual one-on-one is also cards as well. But for my event pricing, I offer a 1 card, 3 card, 5 card, and 7 card for a discounted price. Virtual one-on-one readings, I just do either the 5 card in-depth advice, or I'm just launched my 7 card chakra check-in, because like I said, I do Reiki for people, and that will be also including 5 minutes of distance Reiki on top of the channeled messages and the cards as well. So, and that, I'm excited about that. And then here we have a chakra chart, just so like for reference when I'm reading, in case I need to look back to something. I don't like to pull things out of my ass. Like, I really don't, honestly. Like, I don't like looking stupid. I don't like not knowing what I'm talking about. So I try to always set myself up for success. Sometimes you do have to wing it. It's life. But that is why that is there. And this is my about me. And I'll read it to you. Welcome to Third Eye Exchange. My name is Samantha Munoz. I am a psychic intuitive who conducts healing sessions through oracle card readings and intuitive channeling. I also offer Reiki energy healing. I have had many psychic and medium experiences throughout my 27 years of life, and I have recently been unlocking more gifts such as mediumship and automatic writing, which I don't know about the automatic writing. Like, I think that's always been there, but I didn't know automatic writing was a spiritual gift for a very long time. I really didn't. I have astral traveled in dream state from a young age and do so regularly. I have even helped those crossing over into the afterlife during several of these experiences. And that's how it all started, like the mediumship stuff, I think. I'll talk more about it when I do my podcast. There's going to be a whole episode on that and specifics. This is just kind of like a, hey, we're checking in. It's been a long time. So, okay. Oh yeah. Okay. My goal through sharing my gifts through my platforms is to provide more accessible and legitimate spiritual guidance, healing, and spread awareness of the importance of good spiritual hygiene in modern Western society. As time progresses, I will share more with you, but for now, we all have to start somewhere. I hope you enjoy the messages I channel for you. I look forward to growing with you. That's my big thing. My really big thing. And I'll tell you why. When I was younger, I didn't have space to feel like I could mess up or like I could be wrong. That's also probably the Aries in me, and maybe even a little bit of the Scorpio. I have a Scorpio rising, Aries sun, Libra moon. So it's something that I really was able to cultivate into myself, was growing alongside other people. You know, because I feel like a lot of growth I've experienced because I had a lot of karmic situations like that I had to like really come to terms with from an early age in this lifetime. So for me, like, I just want to grow with the people I'm around, like, you know, and some that looks different on every day it looks different. It could be, excuse me, like one person grows apart from the other, or you guys grow together, you learn something, and it doesn't even have to be like a hard conversation, you know, and sometimes it is, but at the end of the day, like, just keep growing no matter what. But for yourself, you know, that's where that's when I know I'm in alignment, because I feel safe around the people that are with me, like around me. Yeah. And then I have my TikTok and Instagram, my virtual tip jar. And I will say this too, like, I want to like reiterate, like, you don't have to tip me on like readings. I am trying to charge what I feel like my work is worth. And that's including, you know, the many years that I honestly, and I tell people this too when we have conversations. People ask me sometimes, you know, like, how did you come to find all this out about yourself? Honestly, the more I heal, the deeper it gets. Like, the more gifts I have, the more gifts I'm aware of, the more gifts I'm open to, for me personally. So this has taken a lot of work. You know, I'm 27 and a half almost. So, you know, like, I put in a lot of work spiritually on myself. There were a lot of times, there was years that like I had to look in the mirror and realize like I couldn't keep going around in circles anymore. Like, something had to change. Like, I left everything I knew, like, had to go against like literally everything that I knew, like my family, you know, how I was raised. Like, I had to start validating myself, because that was never given to me. And honestly, like, especially if you've done it, you know, that is really hard in a society like ours, where we're almost like encouraged to look outside of ourselves in relationships, in career, in school, everywhere, for validation. So, like I said, tipping is optional. I always appreciate it, like, more than you know. Like, I actually will be like, oh my gosh, yes. Like, you know, and like, no matter how many times I do this, I'm still like mind blown myself. And it does bring me immense joy helping people on their journeys. So just know, I'm never gonna be like, oh, they didn't even tip. Not for my readings. Because like I said, I am learning to charge what I feel comfortable with. And I'm gonna do an episode on that too. Like, not just about me personally, but about tipping as a whole. My views on it, why I feel that way. You know, and then maybe play a little devil's advocate and, you know, look into the other side of it. And then, you know, okay. Also, the tips also go into my spiritual business. Just know that. And then, okay, the legal disclaimer. This is for entertainment purposes only. The content suggested does not replace nor insinuate the advice of a licensed medical professional, and I am not responsible for any decisions made in response to it. Why do I put that? I'm not one of those people that's like, be afraid of things happening, but you just never know. You just never know. And sometimes you gotta cover your ass just in case. Okay, here we go. One-on-one services, which I did already talk a lot about. One-on-one. Also, guys, like, just so you know, it's 10:37 at night and I'm menstruating. I'm tired. That's why I'm yawning. Yawning, and looking exhausted. Okay, so I offer Reiki, which I just changed my pricing. $70, and it'll be in your home. So I travel to where you are. Unless, I mean, I guess you guys could come to me, but that's more for like family and friends, to be honest. I don't really, respectfully, I don't want my clients in my personal space if they are solely my clients, just because there has to be like boundaries. And that's a very personal thing for me. Like, I don't bring random people to my house. I don't bring men to my house. They're lucky if they can even get a date with me. Okay? And I'm sorry. I'm not that sorry, but that was funny. Okay. So $70, it's 30 to 45 minutes. And listen, if we go a little bit over that, like, I'm not going to charge you. That's just like, I don't really want to do hour sessions. Honestly, I don't. My attention span is just not, it's not there on any given day. And I want to be able to show up as fully as possible and present as possible and hold space as greatly as I possibly can. So that is why I offer 30 to 45 minutes. And in these 30 to 45 minutes, we will go over, you know, like, if there are any, you know, if you want to tell me if there's anything specific you want to work on, if you have chronic pain. And by the way, we didn't even go over what Reiki is. So Reiki is an ancient form of energy healing, and we get these symbols, and you either draw the symbols or draw them with your hands or leave them somewhere up and open the session. Now, when I do it, I, open up, and then I will scan, you feel the energy, you scan the person's body, and you could kind of, your hands, this is the best way I can describe it, your hands usually go intuitively where the person might need more healing. I go all the way down the body. Your clothes stay on. Please keep it to yourself. I'm sure it's lovely, but clothes stay on. And we just go from there. Sometimes I will get feelings during it that I tell the person, like, I'll be like, oh, like, have you been experiencing this? Or, like, I'll get downloads. It's different, like, for each person. It's sometimes you just see like energy, like different colors of energy. It's basically like a big meditation, like, it's like a meditation, like a guided meditation with another person. Sometimes, as that you unblock energy, like, people laugh, people cry, apparently they fart too. I've never experienced that, but it is also very important in the days following and the hours following to stay as hydrated as possible, because your body is detoxing. And notice anything that comes up. You might feel like, one time, I know this is TMI, but listen, it is what it is. Sometimes if I'm experiencing blockages, like, and I do Reiki on myself, like, one time, this was actually one of the most recent times I did it on myself. I had never experienced this before. I had diarrhea after. So that happens sometimes. So just anything that you could imagine that you could purge, whether it's like breakout or peeing or excretion or, you know, breaking out. There's, you know, like laughing, crying, even crying, like, and it doesn't even have to be like during the session. Like, it could be a day later, or you just all of a sudden out of nowhere like feel like you need to cry. Like, that's normal, it's healthy, let it out. That's the whole point. And it's just fascinating to me how the body is so intelligent, and we hold so much information in our DNA, and it's all in our cells. It's all in the whole body is just so intelligent. Like, I don't know why, I just always find it so interesting and really so useful. Like, it's such a tool and it's such a key, honestly, like if you use it that way, to deeper parts of yourself, things before you were even born, like your ancestry, you know, your spirituality. We'll get into all this in my podcast, but okay. And then personal readings, which I did already go into, so we can skip that. This one, I decided to offer events, and when I say events, I'm talking like anything you can imagine. Like, if you have a wedding, a barbecue, a house party, a birthday party, did I say barbecue? I think I said that. Like, graduation, a yacht party. Please invite me to your yacht party to read for people, okay? Like, please. But what you could do if you feel called, my event pricing is I do 3 hours, 5 hours, and all day. That's longer than, you know, 5 hours. I guess, yeah. So, and when I say all day, in my head, it's more like 6 to 10 hours. It just depends. And, you know, during events like this, when I charge these prices, it's keeping in mind how, I have to prepare for this, how energetically taxing it can be, and also the recovery period after, because often when I read for people, especially if certain people have, you know, heavier readings, it does take me a little bit of time to hold space for that and then like recover from it. Because you know what, it's like working a job. It's, you know, you come home after a long day and you're tired, and like I said, again, people are paying me for my time, and that time includes all the years it took for me to get to this point. So 3 hours are $350, 5 hours $800, all day $1,200. If you have any questions, DM me, or you can email me. My email is thirdeyeexchange888@gmail.com. For any inquiries, feel free. And here, these are not going to be in here forever, but for now, as a safe place, my Reiki level 1 certification and my Reiki level 2 certification. I'm gonna frame them and put them up on my walls eventually, but I've just been busy doing other things. So for now, that's everything in my binder. And if you stuck with me thus far, you're amazing. I love you. I hope to be a household staple very soon, but I love you. I can't wait to grow with you. And thanks for coming to my About Me. Bye.